G'day there, welcome back. Now you probably noticed by the sky outside here that it's a bit of a cold, miserable, rainy, drizzly day today, and nobody's particularly motivated to do a lot, so this is the kind of day that I find it's really good to put together a pot of Jook on. Jook was also known as Congee in a lot of places and various other names. It's a fairly standard go-to kind of breakfast, lunch or dinner or whenever you want it dish in most Asian countries. Bit tricky to get right if you don't know how to do it. So I thought I'd put together this video and show you how I make it, and you can have a go and then modify it as you want and do what you want with it. Okay, so let's go into the kitchen and I'll do some cooking. Right, so a good place to start when you're cooking is making sure you got all the ingredients you need to make what it is that you're wanting to make. So let's just make sure I do have everything. Start here with eggs. You're going to need a couple of those while you're doing this. The glutenous rice, which you can get from most Asian supermarkets and places, that's the best thing to use for it that I've found. So get some glutinous rice. And then you're going to want some chicken stock. I always like to get a good chicken stock. Don't get a low salt one, because chicken stock with no salt in it is just no flavour. And more salt. You're also going to want water. I've got a whole tap full of that here. Not going to run out of that in a hurry. And a rice cooker. That's a rice cooker. If you haven't got a rice cooker, go get a rice cooker. They're just dirt cheap and they get your rice absolutely perfect every time. And finally what you're going to need is some chicken or fish or pork bones or bacon hocks or something like that. I always use chicken or fish. That's sort of the type of thing that I enjoy eating most with the Jook. And to garnish it, you might want some fresh ginger that you can slice up a bit and put that in. Maybe a little bit of garlic, a little bit of soy or oyster sauce, and some spring onions that you can chop finely to put on for garnish and just mix the flavour up as well. Measurements for Jook are fairly easily. Basically you want about half a cup of glutinous rice, also known as sticky rice. That can go straight in the rice cooker. And you're going to start that off with about 3 cups of water. So the best ratio of liquid to rice is about 1 to 12. So I put half a cup of rice in there, and later on I'll add another 3 cups of the chicken stock to bring the level up. Probably add about 4 cups to account for evaporation and stuff over the half hour or so it's going to take for it to cook. Okay, now while the rice is cooking, I'm going to whip up a couple of eggs, a bit of salt and some soy sauce or oyster sauce. That's going to be to put the chicken in. I'm going to let the chicken sit in that for a wee while, mostly to soak up the egg white. When you put the chicken into the hot Jook mixture later on with the egg white around it, it's going to seal the chicken and make sure that the protein doesn't get attacked by the boiling water straight away, which will toughen up the proteins. The egg white stays into the chicken and keeps it moist so that it cooks evenly without toughening it all. Good trick with chicken and basically any meat. Okay, so this is a nice simple job. You just need 2 eggs. I like to use a little bit of oyster sauce. Actually, I like to use a lot of oyster sauce, but I've got to be careful not to go overboard. And just a teaspoon or so of salt in there. This is the salt that will end up flavouring the rest of the Jook later as well. And then you just need a small whisk, break up the egg yolks, and then just mix that up lightly. Just needs to be broken up, it doesn't need to be frothed or anything like that. That's heaps, and now I can hear the others arriving back with the chicken, so I can chop that up and put it into it as well. That's Flick. Okay, so Flick's just got some chicken back from the supermarket.
And a cream donut or two.
What I find works best for Jook, just so it stays soft and tender while you're eating it and doesn't get chewy or tough, is the boned and skinned chicken thighs. I'm just going to grab 4 of those out, which is about right for the amount of Jook we're making. And I'm going to grab a bigger knife. And I'm just going to cut this chicken up into not too small chunks, because you don't want it to get lost in the broth so much. And I'm just going to dump those straight into the egg mix. There you go. And just mix that around so that all of the surface of the chicken gets a good coating of the salt and the egg white. As I said before, this is what's going to seal the chicken when you put it into the liquid and stop it from getting tough. Okay, so the rice is cooking away. I'm going to add some more water to it now. Taking my lid off. Yeah, let's put in 1 more cup of water. I'm also going to put in 3 cups of the chicken stock as well. 2, 3. Right, and that makes up our ratio of half a cup of the rice to 6 cups of liquid. So we'll be able to just let that go. When the rice is cooked up a bit more, which we'll come back to in a second, we'll then put the chicken into it. And I'm also going to chop a bit of the spring onion up here, just quickly. This will go in pretty much last. So we'll just put that in last, and that'll just build the flavour up really nicely. Cool. While this is cooking away, it's going to take about 20 minutes. I'm going to pop out to the studio, and I'm going to take Emmy with me, who's holding the camera at the moment. And we're going to go do another vlog in the middle of this vlog, all about how to make a really good burn on your arm or something using a bit of liquid latex and some of the fake blood that we made in a previous vlog. So come on out with us and we'll do that.
Vlogception.
Okay, this has been bubbling away for a little bit now, and the rice is starting to break up a little, which is what you want to see. So what I'm going to do now is grab my bowl of chicken, and I'm just going to pour that unceremoniously into the Jook mix. Just stir that around so it's separated a little bit. Now put the lid back on and just carry on with the other stuff I'm doing. Okay, so the Jook's been cooking for a while now. It's just gone bing, and I've poured the cut up spring onion into it, and this is what we've got. It thickens up quite naturally with the amount of rice that's in there. It always feels like it's not enough rice when you first start, but don't be tempted to put more in, or otherwise it'll just end up really soggy stuff. It's a good thick sort of runny porridgey type texture. Now we're just going to dish that into a couple of bowls and eat it. So have a go at doing that. Hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to go and finish off Emmy's burnt arm.